guess he's a social media junkie. He be all over the social, so he be seeing, I guess, what I'm saying. And when I go out there and he thinks, like I told you, he thinks that people should think a way about him and not say nothing about him or, play a certain way. I'm not going to play that way. So he gets in his moods or in his modes or whatever it is, and I'm all for that. I wish we let him shoot that shot and that would have been an air ball.
You and Dillon Brooks have had some run-ins in the past. Tonight it happened again. Do you embrace that edge?
I like to compete. He's going to compete. I'm going to compete. We're going to get up in each other's face. Try not to go borderline with it. I don't really take it there.
Stop it. Get some help.
The beef is back. The drama is real. And Dillon Brooks, he's not backing down. In a league that's become almost sanitized by political correctness and careful media training, Dillon Brooks stands as a throwback to an era when trash talk wasn't just accepted, it was celebrated. And his latest target? The king himself, LeBron James. But here's where it gets interesting. This isn't just another manufactured rivalry cooked up by social media algorithms and hot take artists desperate for clicks. This is genuine, organic, and most importantly, it's backed up by actual basketball.
Because one, Bron is not going to punch him, and Dillon is not going to punch Bron. Like, Dillon is not that guy. He's not going to sit here and punch or sucker punch nobody. He's just messing with you.
Let's set the scene. The Phoenix Suns versus the Los Angeles Lakers. Two teams with playoff aspirations. One led by the greatest player of this generation, possibly of all time. The other featuring a revamped roster built around stars like Devin Booker. And right in the middle of it all, Dillon Brooks, the man who's made it his personal mission to get under LeBron's skin. Brooks didn't hold back after their recent matchup. When asked about his ongoing rivalry with LeBron, he fired shots that would make even the boldest trash talkers blush. He called LeBron a social media junkie, suggesting the king spends too much time scrolling through his feeds, obsessing over what people say about him. That's not just trash talk, that's calculated psychological warfare.
I like Dillon Brooks this year because he don't need, it seemed like before we only knew him for antics, right? It was the antics and that's it, right? He didn't really put many points, but the fact that he is playing like a number 2, sometimes number 1, better than a number 3 option. Like, he's really actually playing basketball.
Think about it. LeBron James has spent 2 decades building a brand based on excellence, leadership, and an almost superhuman ability to rise above the noise. He's the guy who famously said he doesn't let negativity affect him. He's the ultimate professional. But Brooks is essentially saying, I see through that facade. I know you're watching. I know you care. And you know what? He might be right. The beauty of this rivalry isn't just the verbal sparring. It's that Brooks is actually backing it up on the court. Gone are the days when he was just known as an agitator who couldn't score. Last season with Houston, Brooks posted career highs in three-point shooting, hitting nearly 40% from beyond the arc. He's evolved into a legitimate offensive threat while maintaining that edge that makes him one of the most entertaining players to watch in the league. During their recent game, the tension reached a boiling point. Brooks hit a three-pointer right in LeBron's face, got up in his grill, and celebrated like he'd just won the championship. Was it over the top? Absolutely. Was it exactly what basketball needed? 100%.
I can't blame him personally for that technical, because if you get called for it, yes, all right, you got called for it, but you always play. Like, this is like when two big men are battling the post, they look at you and say, yo, let us play, right? So between them two, let us play. Don't stop reffing us. We got this. We have something to prove. We decided together we're going to just sit here and thug it out.
The referee decided it crossed the line and ejected Brooks from the game, a technical foul that some argued was too harsh, others said was justified. But here's the thing. The debate itself proves that Brooks accomplished exactly what he set out to do. He made himself the story. He created a moment that had fans, analysts, and casual viewers all talking about the same thing. What makes this even more compelling is the contrast in how these two players operate. LeBron is Hollywood. He's calculated, measured, and always aware of his legacy. Every move is scrutinized, every decision analyzed through the lens of what does this mean for his all-time ranking? He's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. Brooks is playing street ball. He's raw emotion, unfiltered reactions, and genuine competitive fire that can't be coached or manufactured. He doesn't care about legacy rankings or Hall of Fame credentials. He's here to compete, to win, and to make sure everyone knows he's not intimidated by names or reputations. The ejection itself became a talking point that divided the basketball world. Some argued the referee overreacted to what was essentially two competitors engaging in spirited competition. They'd been going at each other all game long. This was just the natural progression of that rivalry. Why intervene now? Why draw an arbitrary line in the sand when both players seemed perfectly content to settle it between themselves?
As a ref, stay out of their business. Just don't make sure you don't lead to no punches. But obviously, it wouldn't have led to no punches because one, Bron is not going to punch him, and Dillon is not going to punch Bron. Like, Dillon is not that guy. He's not going to sit here and punch or sucker punch nobody. He's just messing with you.
Yeah. Others pointed out that Brooks crossed a line. You can't get in someone's face like that and expect no consequences. The NBA has rules about excessive celebration and taunting, and Brooks violated those rules. End of story. But here's what's being missed in this debate. The NBA needs more of this, not less. Look at the viewership numbers. Look at the social media engagement. Look at how many people who normally don't watch regular season games suddenly tuned in because they heard Dillon Brooks and LeBron James were going at it. The league has spent years trying to manufacture rivalries and storylines through clever marketing and dramatic scheduling, but you can't manufacture genuine competitive hatred. You can't script real bad blood.
So we asked the chat, is the LeBron versus Dillon Brooks beef going too far? 76% of the chat said, hell no, we want more.
Yeah, we want more. Do that pass.
Brooks has tapped into something the league has been missing since the Bad Boys Pistons, since the Knicks-Heat rivalry of the 90s, since Kobe and Raja Bell went at it. He's bringing back the edge that made basketball appointment television. And let's address the elephant in the room, the double standard. When LeBron does his silencer celebration, when he stares down opponents, when he flexes after dunks, it's considered iconic. It becomes a viral moment, gets turned into posters and merchandise, and reinforces his status as the king. But when Dillon Brooks does essentially the same thing, he's a villain, he's classless, he's taking it too far. Why? Because LeBron has earned that right through championships and sustained excellence? Maybe, but doesn't that create a hierarchy where younger players are expected to just accept their place in the pecking order? Where's the competitiveness in that? Brooks isn't buying into that hierarchy. He's challenging it directly, unapologetically, and most importantly, effectively. He's forcing LeBron to acknowledge him as a legitimate threat, not just a role player trying to make a name for himself. The numbers don't lie. In their matchups this season, Brooks hasn't just talked the talk, he's walked the walk. He's scored efficiently, played lockdown defense, and proven he can be a number 1 or 2 option on a team trying to make noise in the competitive Western Conference. He's not just surviving against LeBron, he's thriving. What makes Brooks so effective as an antagonist is that he understands the psychological game within the game. He knows that getting under an opponent's skin, making them think about you instead of the play, giving them that extra bit of emotional weight to carry, that's worth points on the scoreboard. It's the same strategy used by some of the greatest defensive players in history. Gary Payton didn't just guard you, he talked to you the entire game, breaking down your confidence possession by possession. Dennis Rodman didn't just rebound, he got into Karl Malone's head during the finals and threw off the Jazz's entire offensive rhythm. Ron Artest, before the name change, made players so uncomfortable that they'd actively avoid driving to his side of the court. Brooks is that same breed of competitor. He's not just playing basketball, he's playing psychological warfare. And against a player as cerebral as LeBron, who thinks through every scenario and possibility, that mental game becomes even more valuable. The question now becomes, where does this rivalry go from here? LeBron is entering the twilight of his career, trying to secure one more championship and cement his legacy as the greatest to ever play. Brooks is in his prime, trying to establish himself as more than just a defensive specialist with a big mouth. He's now on a Phoenix team looking to compete, and every matchup between these two teams becomes must-see TV. And honestly, basketball is better for it. The league has spent years trying to make everyone friendly, encouraging players to team up rather than compete against each other, promoting a culture where criticism is seen as negativity rather than competitive fire. But that's not what made basketball great. What made basketball great was the competition, the rivalries, the genuine dislike between players who would do anything to beat each other. Brooks is bringing that back. And as long as Brooks keeps playing the way he's playing, keeps talking the way he's talking, and keeps getting under LeBron's skin, this rivalry is just getting started. The king has been challenged, and the challenger isn't backing down. Let the games begin.